Now at 5, new details are released in a fatal Joplin hit and run. Plus, the Joplin Regional Airport introduces its newest security staff member, a bomb-sniffing dog. And
House Republicans say the crisis along the U.S.-Mexico border is enough to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. I'm Skylar Henry on Capitol Hill as Democrats call the hearing a political stunt.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Joplin police have released the identity of a pedestrian killed in a hit-and-run crash this week and an image of what the vehicle might look like. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. The victim of Monday's crash has been identified as 55-year-old Eva Havelock of Joplin. Now police are releasing an image of a vehicle that might resemble the one in the crash. They think it was a dark-colored 2002 to 2005 Ford Explorer SUV. Investigators say it would have sustained damage to the front grille and would be missing a headlight assembly unless it's already repaired. Police say Havelock was on foot when the vehicle struck her around 6 p.m. Monday near West 7th and Gray Avenue. She died of her injuries yesterday. Anyone with information about that crash should contact the Joplin Police Department. Joplin Airport now has a new way to detect threats and explosives. Meet Bubba, a 1.5-year-old English Golden Retriever. Bubba is the airport's newest bomb and explosive sniffing dog. However, he's not exclusive to the airport. Bubba and his handler can also help other area law enforcement agencies if needed.
We learned then that the nearest bomb dog was actually located in Jefferson City. We happen to have a police officer here who is a fully trained and certified canine handler and trainer. He came to me with the idea of possibly getting a bomb dog here.
Bubba is fully certified and officially on duty. When he's off duty, he goes home with his handler and gets to be a normal dog. The Carthage Chamber of Commerce's first of its kind Women's Empowerment Series is a new monthly set of luncheons leading up to the Women in Business Conference. That's going to be in May. Tickets are $12 for chamber members, $15 for non-members. Each month, the luncheons will have a different theme and speaker to share their experience as a woman in the workforce.
I hope it inspires. I don't really have anything except my story, so my plan is to kind of tell my journey and reflect on some of the things and lessons and challenges that I've had over the years.
The Chamber will announce the next luncheon speaker and topic later this week. Meteorologist Tiffany Savona joins us now.
Good evening, Dow. What a different story today is compared to yesterday. Yesterday, snow was falling. Not the case today. In fact, all the snow has melted because of the sunshine we saw. And look at these numbers. We're at 48 degrees in Joplin at this hour, 45 in Pittsburgh, and some of us in the 50s at this hour. It's 52 in Miami, 53 in Grove, 50 degrees in Nowata. It's 47 in Independence, and we're sitting at 45 degrees in Pittsburgh. It has been another breezy day. Those winds are still up anywhere between 10 and about 20 miles per hour, but those wind speeds will gradually start to come down this evening. So we're looking at a clear and cool evening ahead with temperatures dropping into the 40s once we get past sunset, dropping through the 40s, I should say, and ending up in the 30s, middle 30s as we approach midnight. Now we are tracking an Arctic blast that is going to be moving across the northern and central plains. Look at how cold it is across portions of Montana and North Dakota. That air is headed in our direction. So we'll let you know when the bitter cold will arrive and how long it'll last coming up. Down.
Thanks, Tiffany. We'll see you soon. House Republicans held the first impeachment hearing for Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. They accuse him of opening the border, making the country less safe. Skylar Henry has more details from Capitol Hill.
House Republicans left little doubt about what they plan to do with Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas.
We're going to impeach him. He's going to be impeached, and he should be.
Democrats say Republicans are using the impeachment hearing to attack the Biden administration's border policies, which Mayorkas is in charge of.
You cannot impeach a cabinet secretary because you don't like a president's policies. That's not what impeachment's for.
Republicans say Mayorkas has neglected his duties.
Secretary Mayorkas has brazenly refused to enforce the laws passed by Congress and enacted policies that knowingly make our country less safe.
In the history of the country, only one secretary has ever been impeached, and a constitutional expert testified that the high crimes and misdemeanors bar needed to impeach Secretary Mayorkas has not been met.
Following the policy directives of one's elected superior in pursuit of that superior's policy aims is simply not an impeachable abuse of power.
Even if the House does impeach Mayorkas, Democrats in the Senate are unlikely to convict him.
Impeaching Secretary Mayorkas solves nothing at the border. In fact, it detracts from a bipartisan effort to reach solutions to the security problem at the border.
Mayorkas is leading Biden administration negotiations with Senate Republicans to find a way to strengthen the border in exchange for support for the wars in Ukraine and Israel. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Senators say there are still significant differences on the border bill, and the negotiations will continue beyond this week. Surrounded by cameras, Hunter Biden and his lawyer today showed up at a meeting of the Republican-controlled House Oversight Committee. The Oversight Committee is one of two committees moving forward with contempt charges against Hunter Biden for refusing to comply with a congressional subpoena to testify behind closed doors. The committees want Hunter Biden's testimony as part of an impeachment inquiry into President Biden. Still ahead, turning bystanders into upstanders.
Stop bullying and stand up for kindness. I'm Astrid Martinez with how students are being taught to recognize, report, and diffuse tough situations.
Plus, how the Zika virus could one day be used to treat difficult cancers. Those stories next in Health Watch. Topping today's Health Watch. Injecting the Zika virus into neuroblastoma tumors has been shown to shrink them. Research published in Cancer Research Communication shows the Zika virus was effective at killing cancer cells in mice with neuroblastoma, a rare childhood cancer. Zika is a dangerous virus which can cause birth defects, but doctors say it could one day be used as an option for difficult cancers. Bullying is widespread and can have serious health consequences for young people. That's according to the Centers for Disease Control. And the harms are not just felt by the person being bullied. Reporter Astrid Martinez takes us inside a middle school that's teaching students to be upstanders instead of bystanders.
The sound of a chime in Elise Ward's 7th grade class means it's time to contemplate how to create a positive school environment.
Empathy means feeling and thinking how the other person might feel or think.
Students put their hand to their heart to connect to their bodies, behaviors, and beliefs during discussions on emotional intelligence.
We can make sure that everyone feels included and safe.
Educators at Ann Dorner Middle School pair those discussions with an online bullying prevention program called EverFi, originally created with the U.S. Navy SEALs. Students are asked to stand up for others, not able to stand up for themselves.
We're letting them understand the importance of having that integrity and having that resilience and that leadership so that when they can go out into the world, they can make those changes.
The program is tailored for each grade, from kindergarten through high school, and students independently move through the lessons.
You can choose whichever one you want.
Okay, so
which
you
one would you like?
picture.
Yeah,
Okay.
which one would you like?
EverFi says it's now in a quarter of all schools nationwide, and student surveys show progress.
There has been an increase in the number of students that have actually gone and asked for support from an adult, but we have also seen a decrease in students deciding not to intervene.
Students we spoke with say the program has empowered them to get involved.
Asking an adult or going to them and making sure they're okay, or even talking to the bully.
They say being a bystander is no longer an option. Astrid Martinez, CBS News, Ossining, New York.
EverFi's anti-bullying course is offered free to all students, teachers, and schools in the U.S. And that is a look at today's health news. Tiffany is next with a complete look at the forecast, and a little later, our pet vet on call.
Hi, I'm Dr. Eva Dude from Parsons Pet Hospital. Coming up, we're going to talk about whether or not your pet likes his jacket or not.
Good evening. It turned out to be a beautiful Wednesday across the four-state area. Plenty of sunshine, temperatures above average. In fact, some of us in the 50s at this hour, where yesterday it was snowing. We were in the 30s at this time with wind chills in the teens and 20s. What a difference a day makes, right? Temperatures right now, there are those 50s across portions of northeast Oklahoma. We have 53 in Grove, 52 in Miami. Joplin has dropped to 48 after hitting 50 at the top of the hour. 45 in Pittsburgh. We're at 46 in Chanute and 43 degrees in Nevada. The wind is still up out of the south and west, anywhere between 10 and about 20 miles per hour. Not as strong as yesterday, but still on the breezy side. These wind speeds will gradually start to diminish as we head into the overnight period. We've seen a lot of sunshine today. Notice a few clouds starting to enter our Kansas counties at this time, but these will quickly move across the region, and we will look at mainly clear skies overnight. We're tracking our next storm system. Here's the energy for it currently moving across the Pacific Northwest. This is going to dive to the south, taking some cold Canadian air with it. And this is going to be our weather maker as we head into tomorrow night and Friday. Let me show you what I mean about that. We have tonight, we have quiet conditions. Temperatures dropping into the 20s and 30s by tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, another warm day, but not as much sunshine. Those clouds will be increasing during the afternoon, but highs will likely top out in the low and middle 50s. Not bad for the early part of January. As we head into tomorrow night, that's when scattered showers and even some thunderstorms will be possible across the four-state area. They will be moving in from the south and west. They could contain some heavy rain. Then that colder air starts to wrap in behind that system, so we start to see that rain changing over to snow, and temperatures crash once the front moves through. So Friday morning, there's going to be a wide variety of numbers on the map. We're going to have 20s and 30s in Kansas, but out ahead of that front, look at Miami, Joplin, even into Arkansas. We have 40s and 50s there. So as we go throughout the morning on Friday, notice how the cold air changes all that precipitation over to snow. So we're looking at some light snow accumulations as we take into Friday morning with temperatures of the 20s. Temperatures tumble throughout the day, and Friday's also going to be a windy day. So it's going to be a very cold, windy, and somewhat snowy day on Friday. We're looking at some minor accumulations on Friday, maybe 1 to 2 inches tops. This is not going to be a big weather maker as far as snow goes. As far as our winter weather impacts, as we take you to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Sunday and Monday is another system. Snow, that'll be a medium threat. We don't have to worry about any ice here in the four-state area. But the biggest impacts from these two systems will be the bitter cold and the wind chills, especially as we take you into the end of the weekend and into early next week. In our Kansas counties, some of them at least are under a wind chill watch. We'll show you that coming up at 6. Your 7-day forecast showing that tomorrow we're dry. The chance for storms arrives tomorrow night. And then we see that rain transitioning to snow early Friday. It's going to be a windy day. Friday, potentially an alert day because of the snow, the wind, and the cold weather. Saturday, we're in between systems. The next Arctic blast arrives Sunday into Monday. Look at those temperatures. We're talking about highs in the teens, lows below 0, wind chills below 0. So you need to prepare for this bitter cold that will be arriving in the next couple of days. And then the weather pattern finally starts to quiet down as we head into much of next week. Dow, back to you.
Tiffany, thanks. Coming up, the CEO of Boeing speaks out for the first time since a mid-air incident caused dozens of jets to be grounded. Topping today's Consumer Watch, Boeing's CEO is talking for the first time about Friday's terrifying incident where a panel flew off an Alaska Airlines jet full of passengers. Although no one was seriously hurt, the haunting image of that gaping hole in the Alaska 737 MAX 9 shook Boeing CEO Dave Calhoun. He spoke with employees.
I didn't know what happened to whoever was supposed to be in the seat next to that hole in the airplane. I got kids, I got grandkids, and so do you. We're going to approach this, number one, acknowledging our mistake. We are going to approach it with 100% and complete transparency every step of the way.
Investigators are honing in on the 4 bolts designed to hold that door panel in place, bolts that so far they cannot find. Companies from around the world are revealing the latest tech at CES in Las Vegas. Jessica Naziri shows us.
Honda is charging into the electric car market. The auto giant unveiled 2 futuristic-looking EVs at CES. One is a minivan-type concept called Space Hub, and a sleeker version dubbed the Saloon, which could debut in 2026. Amazon is showing off the latest version of the Zoox robotaxi. The autonomous vehicle uses radar cameras and infrared to build a 360-degree view of its surroundings. It will be tested on roads in Las Vegas later this year.
The rides are pretty short. On-demand rides in dense urban environments are between 5 and 15, 20 minutes. They're pretty hop on, hop off.
Hyundai has a loftier vision for the taxi. This one can fly. The supernal electric taxi is designed to take off vertically and cruise at 120 miles per hour. The company believes the 4-passenger vehicle could be flying by 2028.
The rotors are smaller, so it'll be quieter, much quieter than helicopter.
Back on the ground, Hyundai is offering a new way to get out of a tight spot. The vehicle is equipped with an e-corner system that allows the wheels to turn in just about any direction, which could make parking a breeze. And if you'd rather have someone else do the parking, BMW has a new concept. This vehicle appears to be driving itself, but it's actually controlled remotely. Multiple screens help the teleoperator drive the vehicle. BMW believes the system could one day be used for valet parking or even to assist drivers who want someone else to take the wheel for a while. Jessica Naziri for CBS News, Las Vegas.
Yeah, amazing, I know. Our Pet Vet on Call up next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, a look at the costs facing a major city dealing with an influx of migrants. Then on KOAM News at 6, what we know about a wind turbine collapse in Barton County. Plus, Pittsburgh and Frontenac hit the map for the crosstown throwdown. Stay with us. CBS Evening News, KOAM News at 6. As the temperature drops, we're all likely to bundle up under an extra layer or two. It might also be necessary for our pets, but not always. Today's question for our Pet Vet on Call: how can I tell if my dog likes wearing a sweater or jacket?
By the way they respond to it. When you first put it on, if they're scratching all the time, they're rubbing on the floor, desperately trying to get it off, then they're not so cool about it. They need a little time to acclimate, kind of like when you first put a watch on. You're always playing with it because you can feel it, then you get used to it. But if when you put it on and they strut off and act cool, you know they're liking it.
If you have a question, just send it to PetVet at KOAMTV.com. Dr. Eva Dudak from the Parsons Pet Hospital answers a different question or brings us a fun fact every Wednesday right here on KOAM News at 5. Now let's check back with Tiffany for our last look at the weather.
And we have a little bit of everything in this 10-day forecast. The big thing to note will be the potential alert days, Friday, Sunday, and Monday. That's because of the cold and the wind chill. So tomorrow, let's break it down. We're dry. Storms will be possible tomorrow night, and then that rain transitions to snow early Friday morning. Maybe some minor accumulations, 1 to 2 inches. The snow is not going to be the big part of the story. It's going to be the cold, and like I mentioned, it's going to be the wind chills below 0. If we do see some more accumulating snow, the better chance will be on Sunday, as temperatures only top out in the teens and lows will drop below 0. Dow?
Tiffany, thanks, and thank you for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next, and of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. We'll see you then. Let's make it a great evening.